Hey guys, it's me again, Joel, your Bisaya reader. Welcome back to another video, and for today I'm going to do a book review of The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. This is James Islington's debut novel and the first book of the trilogy. This is under adult category and young adult genre. So, young adult Hey guys, it's me and Jolly Bisaya Reader. Welcome back to another video, and for today I'm going to do a book review of The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. This is an adult fantasy, and this is James Islington's debut novel. This is the first book of the trilogy, and the trilogy is already complete. I've heard that the last book or the final book of the trilogy was published earlier this year. In this story, we are following our three main characters. Even though this is an adult, our three main characters are basically young adult. They are David, Weir, and Asha. They are actually gifted. In this world, we have three significant group of individuals: the gifted, the augurs, and the normal people. If you're a normal people, then basically you don't have these superpowers. If you're an augur or gifted, you have these abilities or superpowers. The main difference between an augur and a gifted is that augur are deemed to be more powerful than the gifted. Augurs are close to being a godlike. Their superpowers are really way above those of the gifted. Our three main characters are actually gifted, and we are following them at the start of the story in a magic school named Caladel, where they are trained to use and control their superpowers, and they have this upcoming test in which, in case they fail the test, these gifted who fail the test will be branded as shadows. If you are a shadow in this world, you will have a mark, and the effect of the mark is that, first of all, you will no longer be able to use your superpowers, and second effect of the mark as a shadow is that you're going to lose all of your memories. So-called tenet. Tenet is actually a group of laws or regulations set by the king of the kingdom, in which these tenets are used to make sure that the augurs and the gifted are being controlled or will not abuse their superpowers to do harm to the people living in the kingdom. So basically, tenets are actually laws or regulations that only the king of the kingdom has the ability to change or to alter. We have this boundary. It's actually the boundary from the kingdom and to the north, in which this serves as the jail to the so-called powerful evil that they've defeated centuries ago, and the boundary is actually weakening. We are going to follow our main characters as they set into an adventure going to the north and check what's really happening to the boundary and what's the things they need to do. I really love this book, even though this is only the first book of the trilogy, but I think this is going to be my all-time favorite. These are the reasons why I really love the book and why you also need to read the book. The first one is that the magic system. The magic system in this story really reminds me of X-Men. X-Men is just because augurs and gifted reminds me of the mutants in X-Men, where humans are really afraid of mutants. They don't trust the mutants on their abilities, and they're trying to control the mutants. And this is somewhat very different, the same or similar to the things that are happening with the humans against augurs and the gifted. That's why the tenet was made by the king, to make sure that the gifted will not use their superpowers to abuse the people or the community. It's really entertaining, and there's really a lot of abilities that we need to follow, and you just have to really discover it yourself. I don't want to tell you more what are these magic or abilities or superpowers that these characters have, so that it won't spoil your experience. Now let's go to the second reason why I really love the book, and that is the writing style of the author. I think the author did a tremendous, magnificent job on making the readers not feel exhausted reading the book. This is a really thick book, like almost 700 pages to be exact, around 693 pages, and I just read this within like 6 or 5 days. I finished it, and that's how good it is. Even though it's a really thick book, I was never because of the writing style of the author, I never felt that it was dragging. The writing style was genius for me because the author was able to avoid a massive info dumping. Even though in this story we are going to really encounter a lot of information for us to really appreciate the magic system, for us to really appreciate the world, and to get to know a bunch of characters, but the author was able to avoid massive info dumping. He is just using different perspective, and if for every perspective there's a new information about the world, and next perspective of the main character, he's going to give another information about the magic system, and then for another perspective of another character, and he's going to give another information with regards to the world building. It was just really the genius for me. And the third thing I really like about this book is that the story itself. The story itself was something I haven't encountered before. It's something that I cannot really say new or unique or something that was not done before. It's just basically something that is not common. It was done before, but it is not that common. The tropes is not that recurring, so it's definitely going to give you a fresh experience of an adult fantasy story. The pacing. The fourth thing I really love about the book is the pacing. The pacing was really fast. The main reason for me basically that why the pacing is really fast is that because the author was able to inject multiple mysteries, multiple questions to the readers, and make the readers really ask what's really happening. And as a reader myself personally, every time I encountered what the hell is happening here, it makes me more curious to know the answers. Why is it happening? Why it happened? What's the reason why this one happened? There's actually really a lot of mysteries, a lot of questions, especially in the first half of the book, where you will catch yourself really challenged, also confused, but challenged and confused in a good way, because it will definitely help you and make this book a total page turner, because it will give you the feeling that you need to really know why it's happening, what's going to happen, and it definitely helps the pacing for me personally. Also, it's really challenging because the moment you're going to discover, the moment that the question is being answered, there's going to be another question that's going to arise. For example, I'm not going to spoil it, but for example, there's a question that you've been wanting to know the answer, and then the next chapter you were able to discovered the answer already, but after knowing the answer there's another question that will arise. It's actually genius, and it's actually brilliant, and it's going to be a really fast read for you guys because it's really fast paced. It was well written. It's just kudos to the author. And the last thing that I really like about the book is the plot twist. The plot twist here was somewhat predictable. It's actually a case-to-case basis, but I did have a hunch for what the bigger plot twist is. I was able to predict it, but it actually did not affect my enjoyment or the way I see the book as a whole, because it was just a wild guess, and I was really happy I was able to connect the dots, and my predictions with regards to the massive plot twist in the end was correct. It's not a very obvious plot twist, but it's definitely a very challenging one, so it's for you to really know. So if you're planning to read this, guys, you need to pick this as soon as possible. If you're hesitating, if you're going to pick this, please don't hesitate. Grab a copy as soon as possible and read this. The trilogy is already complete. You can actually binge read this. I am actually planning to read the second book now, but I still don't have a copy of the third book. So we'll see if ever I have the third copy. I'm just going to binge read this. For the fans of Brandon Sanderson, fans of Robert Jordan, this book is for you. And I hate to say this, but I think this is better for me personally than Mistborn. I really love Mistborn, but this one for me personally is better than Mistborn when it comes to not the magic system. Of course, Miss Born does have a really great, unique, and very iconic magic system. But this one, it's as a whole, as a book, as an experience, the total experience for it, it's actually the writing style and the pacing. The formula was actually kind of similar to Brandon Sanderson's writing formula, but it was better, modified. And yeah, the pacing was really cool. The ability of the author to inject mysteries and questions all throughout the chapters just really made me really read more and more, and it just caught myself that I'm almost finished reading the book. So yeah, read this one. It will not bore you, it will definitely entertain you. Yeah, thank you so much. My name again is Jolly Bisaya Reader, and please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video.